Have you ever had to spend an ungodly amount of money on gasoline before? I know that I have. The thing is, if you and I had an electric car, though, we wouldn't have had to. The production of electric vehicles, referred to as EVs, has gained significant momentum in the United States within recent years. This has been fueled by a combination of factors, including advancements in battery technology, government incentives, and increased awareness of environmental issues. As residents of the state of California, I'm sure that many of us are aware and familiar with our state's optimistic stance regarding EVs. This topic is relevant to the audience because we will surely see its impact play on throughout our lives. Due to its inherent eco-friendly nature and numerous community benefits, investing in the electric vehicle industry will contribute immensely to our nation's community and economic vitality in the face of climate change. First, I will discuss EV's implications for the American workforce. Then, I will discuss its cost-effective nature. Finally, I'll cover its numerous community benefits. Let's first take a look at its impacts upon the American job force and labor force. Investment into EVs bolster economic opportunities and job creation in the US. First off, if the EV field were to grow, manufacturers would be incentivized to establish or expand production facilities within the country. This drives the domestic supply chain by inducing demand for various materials required for EV production, including batteries, electric motors, and charging infrastructure. According to Brookings on July 21st, 2022, a higher fraction of EV components are assembled in the US compared to the standard automobile, preventing the offshoring of thousands of existing manufacturing jobs. Moreover, this will also lead to job growth within the American workforce. Investing in EVs support careers within the growing green sector, such as EV manufacturing and renewable energy expansion. According to the Economic Policy Institute on September 22nd, 2021, shifting to EVs could create upwards of 150,000 jobs by 2030 if policymakers invest in preemptive measures to address the nation's energy supply grid. Now that we understand EV's impacts upon American industry, let's discuss its economic implications. Investing in EVs duly relieves transportation costs at the individual level and also at the national level. First, because of their higher fuel economy and resilience and reliance upon the electric grid, EVs generally cost less to maintain in comparison to standard cars. EVs have fewer moving parts, lacking engines, transmissions, or exhaust systems, reducing the likelihood of necessary maintenance. Moreover, powering your car is exponentially cheaper than fueling with gasoline. According to the U.S. Department of Energy on September 28, 2022, EV drivers pay $1.22 to drive the same distance a conventional car could go on a gallon of gasoline. Next, by shifting towards EVs, America can decrease its reliance on imported oil for transportation, increasing internal funding, and reducing vulnerability to geopolitical tensions and oil price fluctuations. As discussed by Forbes on June 18, 2022, EV production through the decade will result in a 34% decrease in crude oil demand, revealing an excellent opportunity to curb international reliance. All right, let's move on and discuss EV's benefits at the community level. Investment into the EV industry is also an investment in our nation's environmental and community well-being. By replacing internal combustion engines with electric motors, EVs eliminate the need for fossil fuels, thus decreasing emissions. According to USA Facts on August 18, 2022, the average gas-powered car creates close to 3 times as much emissions as the average all-electric car every year, producing 11,000 and 3,000 pounds of CO2 respectively. By transitioning to EVs, we can work to decrease air pollution and combat climate change. Next, EVs help mitigate respiratory illness and decrease noise pollution in urban areas, improving the overall quality of life for communities. With their quiet operation, EV helps make neighborhoods more quiet. Additionally, by eliminating tailpipe emissions, EVs lead to a cleaner and healthier environment, which positively impacts the well-being and respiratory health of community members. As mentioned by the Natural Resource Defense Council on April 18, 2023, by 2050, EVs would spare Los Angeles residents an estimated $12.6 billion in annual related healthcare costs, which reveals EV's inherent connection to community health. Now that we've finished, let's review my main points. First, I discussed how increased EV production will benefit the US workforce. Then, I discussed its impacts on the transportation costs. Lastly, I highlighted its high potential to benefit American communities. America should invest in its electric vehicle industry in order to mitigate the impacts of climate change and transform its communities. The next time that you fill up your tank or moan and groan about today's gas prices, maybe consider doing everyone a solid and opting for an electric vehicle. Thank you so much.